Hey guys, let me know if you could hear me okay. Oh wait, 1 second. I should have made sure first. Sound. Input. Perfect. Output. Okay, perfect. Everything should be okay this time. Awesome. Hey guys. We are live. There's so many buttons and I'm always like slightly scatterbrained right before we start. So I'm like, okay, what buttons? And then, then the sound goes out halfway through it, so it didn't matter to begin with. So what have you guys been up to this past week? I was at the cabin getting it ready for the winter. We were getting it ready for the winter, and so I'm back at the apartment now and ready to rock and roll on this comic book. So hello JD, Cleaver, Richard, John, of course. I'm going to call you Kumar. Yes, that's good. And Detective Buckets. I love that name so much every time I see it. John is making fun of me because right before I started streaming, I'm trying to record my my reel, and he's like kind of like going in and out of the apartment. I'm like, dude, you gotta go. It's always that whole thing last minute. So hey, what's up, Arthur and Izanami? Awesome. So so New York City Comic Con. I was asked about it like 6 months ago, and because I didn't plan it and didn't know if whatever I was working on was going to be done or out yet, and so I didn't make any plans, and it is expensive. So maybe next year, you guys. I know that'd be kind of cool, right? To do a live stream from New York City Comic Con. That would be epic. So, chopped up some trees to stock my dad for his fireplace for the winter. Oh, that's awesome. I can't do that, but I appreciate people who can chop wood. What I do is collect kindling. So that's my job. Or trees or branches that are already kind of down. So, John does all the chopping. So yeah, I've just been, back and forth, and now that I'm back, and I'm just kind of scrambling to get all the tiers and stuff ready for the Kickstarter page. So I have a little bit left to do tonight, and then I'm gonna submit it to be pre-launched, you guys. So this is actually happening right now. I'm nervous as heck. So because you can always forget something, or things they're not always gonna go as planned. So that's kind of expected. But I still have a few more pieces of art to do before the launch itself. Hello, Alessandro. Nice to see you again. Nice to see my regulars here, I think. I'm going to have to close one window. I'm sorry. I don't mean I think. I'm glad to see you guys. Let me close my browser window so it's not so slow. Okay. So yeah, it's really exciting. I have a ton of artwork already that I did, for the past, let's just say, forever and ago. And so I just have like a cover to do, basically, or a couple covers. And I think today that's what I'm going to work on is cover art for cover B. Because right now I have cover A and a bunch of options for cover C and D. So there's going to be 4 covers, and this might be one of them. But this is going to be in the sketchbook that we have planned. And I'm not sure how many pages the sketchbook is going to be, but it's going to be pretty thick. Not going to be as thin as a comic book, but not going to be like crazy amount of pages, because then it costs a lot to print. So it's a pain to go out in the wood to chop snow. What was cool about the cabin fireplace was it's propane, so it doesn't need wood, but we do have a fire pit up on the hill, which would be kind of nice to have in the winter, but it's been a minute for me. Hello, Johnny Fitz. Oh wow, so Cleaver, your cousin had brain surgery, and we have to go take care of him for a few weeks. So I have been working, trying to catch up on my Inktober comic. Oh, that's awesome. What's really cool about the Inktober is probably a good little distraction, right? Where you're not constantly thinking about that. So it's fun. For me, it's like doing a comic book while having that kind of stress would probably be even more stress for me. So that's awesome. Well, good luck to your cousin though. Brain surgery is no joke, right? Yeah, I hope they're doing okay. Okay, so let's come. So I have printed out. So this is going to be. Sorry, this is so this is like an Eon board that I printed out on like an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I just scanned it and just made it 4 little squares. So it's about the same size, maybe a tiny bit bigger than a baseball card. And I don't know if you remembered Sean Murphy's podcast episode with me, where he does his thumbnails on like baseball card size thumbnails. So that's what we're doing today. I think I'll do maybe 2 or 3 different thumbnails, and maybe we'll pick one, you guys. What do you say? If I get that far. You know me. I just talk and I never really get around to drawing at that point. So. Oh, wow. Okay, so he actually forgot or lost his memory temporarily, or still shaky, but he's back to school and seeing. Aw. That's got to be rough. Well, like I said, condolences, not condolences, but like good well wishes to your cousin from all of us, I guess. I'm glad that he's doing well. I mean, I know how tough that is to be, you know, like, definitely I know how that feels like when your family's going through a lot and trying to go day to day without really being sad about it and getting things done. So I totally get it. So let's go ahead and let's do cover B. I'll just label cover B in case I forget. So I think I'm going to do Aya the girl and Pocky for this cover, because the main cover's already got the 2 main characters, the brothers. Cleaver, when you say kid, how old? I mean, if you don't mind me asking, how old is your cousin? Let's make this wider so you guys can see it better. Okay. He's 16. Oh, that's young. Well, thank you, Emmanuel. I appreciate it. Even though all I have right now is a sphere for her head. It's funny, I've been coloring the pages this past few days, so I haven't really been drawing. So this is the first time I picked up a pencil since I've been back, so in a couple of days. Actually, no, I haven't drawn in 5 days, because when we were at the cabin I didn't really do any drawing. In fact, I still have my pens in the pouch. So before I forget, because I always do that, I have the web address for the official website, just for the newsletter for when the launch pre-launch happens, so you guys can see the pre-launch page and follow that. And then I might even send out, like, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this yet, but like an example of what's going to be in the Kickstarter tiers and what's going to be included, and maybe some sample pieces, so like a sneak peek, I guess. So please subscribe to the newsletter, which is I pinned up in the comment, and you could also find it in the description. It's just neowonderland.com. And please also verify your email. It's going to send you an email to verify your subscription, because just to prevent spam, I make it so it's a double opt-in. So okay, this is going to be super tiny because it's thumbnails. So remember, big broad shapes, and the first one's probably going to be a throwaway. I don't know, because I haven't warmed up at all. So yeah, I'm stoked. I think I mentioned a couple of days ago on my post, I was like, sometimes you want it so bad that by the time it's almost happening, you're like, get it done already, because it's been so long in the making. You just want it out of the oven, basically. It's been cooking. It's almost burnt now at this point. So this time I'm actually just gonna pick the layout I like because I don't have a whole lot of time, and I'm just gonna scan the thumbnail in and then pick the one that I like instead of, you know how sometimes I would draw on the actual 11 by 17 art paper and then not even bother with the scanning and then light boxing because I need to save some time. So what I'm gonna do is, like I said, scan it, print it out on 11 by 17 printing paper, and then I'm just gonna light box the layout so my proportions are correct. Like the one I did last week, I'm probably gonna end up having to redo that one because the lines started to get really stiff after a while. So like I said, it's kind of warming up right now. So it's nice to see you again too, Christian. And thumbnails, yes, Mighty Geek. These are thumbnails for the cover design, and it's gonna be super rudimentary right now. So I'm getting warmed up. I should probably just warm up on another piece of paper, but my concern is like, what if I like the drawing on the other piece of paper? Then, oh, I guess I could do that. So I actually went looking on Amazon for a Bob Ross costume, and I found one, you guys. So I think I'm gonna try to do this. I'm kind of paranoid about the beard though. It's like, what if my face starts to itch or something? How am I gonna keep the beard on? So I might have to paint it on or something with a non-toxic paint. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, it takes getting used to. And so right now, my shapes, I mean, they're not half bad, but sometimes when I start, it looks pretty stiff. And her hair might be longer than it actually is in the book, but I'm just, like I said, I'm just feeling the flow of this piece. Oh my gosh, this is on the wrong paper, or is this scratch paper? Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna draw a character, what do you call those? Not a turnaround, but just a speck. And I'm almost done coloring the interior pages that you'll see for the sample pages. And that took the longest because I thought I was done, and then I went back and looked at some of the panels and they didn't look done enough, you know, so. Did I put the floating signs? Yes, Richard, I did actually. I had to like really think about the signs that I wanted because I wanted it to be a part of the story and not just a throwaway sign where it's distracting. So all the signs that are on there have something to do with the story or like a location that the characters frequent. So one of them happens to be the arcade that we all came up with a few streams ago. Remember that one? And I don't have a name for it yet. I just kind of called it the game room. But when we have the interior page drawn, I'll show it to you guys with the design. And it's funny because we were looking for an actual venue to start an arcade. So I was seriously thinking about it. So I should say we. I don't know about I, because I have all these things I want to do, so. So at least we're drawing something today, quite fast. And then we could draw a Pocky stick. The blimp, I have a little blimp. I didn't want it to be too not distracting, but I didn't want it to take away from why the panel was there, or the splash page is supposed to focus on the building in the middle because of the story on page, the first 5 pages. So there is a blimp there, but it's not like super obvious. So. So I'm just gonna draw the flying cat. It's getting kind of dark in here. Okay. So how many of you are gonna do a haunted house or go to a haunted house or anything fun for Halloween? Anybody carve any pumpkins? It's funny because I've never actually carved a pumpkin before, even though I think it'd be kind of fun. Just never got around to it. Plus, it's like I never had the right tools to carve a pumpkin. You have to actually go and invest in knives and stuff to make it look right. Stefan from 253, hello. So Alessandro, I love your art. I study your faces. The mix of comics and manga is awesome. You are a reference to me. What are the main references you go to get your style? Oh man, what aren't my references? I see a lot of really great artists just online nowadays, because it used to be like, your main references like Ghost in the Shell and a lot of the popular mangas out there, and like The Vagabond was huge influence on me. Just the liveliness, I guess, of the cross hatching and the mark making that Inoue makes. I love his stuff. I actually and concept art, actually. I love a lot of concept artists. Like they're pretty inspiring. And I actually got some of my art books back from the cabin. So I have a bunch of the Final Fantasy art books. Those are my favorite inspirations. But I've been kind of developing this for a long time, and it's changed quite a bit. So it kind of comes and goes, and I step out and actually draw comic books sometimes, or comic book style, because of the work that I do. So it changes a little bit. What am I thinking for the first cover? I want one action cover and then one where she's just kind of standing, so nothing too action packed. So let me see. I'm trying not to collect pencils on my desk again, you guys. Hello, Mr. Cafe. I think, is it Audio Cafe? Yeah. What am I actually in here in time? Yeah, you're here on time. Guess who's late again, you guys? Guess who's late? Vince is late. Okay, so now we're gonna go in here and actually try to come up with a cover. I think I want half body, because if not, it's gonna be too small. The logo is gonna go right here. So, and I want Pocky on this one and the flying cat, so I'm gonna make sure I keep him on this side. And this one, she's probably just looking forward. Why not? Just a simple, at least for the first one. Hey Mark, thank you so much from Baltimore. That's awesome. How's the weather over in the East Coast right now? Northeast? Because it is rainy here. Like rainy. I don't know if you guys can see it. Probably not. But yeah, it's really rainy and reminds me of Washington. So it's kind of cozy. I just don't want to go outside because there's a bunch of leaves on the ground and it's like really wet and slippery. Okay, that's not noodle. Let's get the bigger pencil. Oh, really? Yeah. Luckily, it's not snowing yet, right? It already started snowing in northwestern Wyoming. So we were just there not that long ago at the national park. So I'm gonna try not to noodle around too much. I just want big shapes and an idea of what's happening. So oh, there's Thanksgiving for you guys. Oh, happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadians in the chat. Do you guys, I mean, I know this is a stupid question, or maybe it's not stupid. What do you guys do for your tradition? Like, what kind of, do you eat turkey? You don't eat turkey like we do, right? Even though I think we have the same wildlife, at least in Calgary and stuff. We have cows over there and horses. Same exact mountain range, except different name. Oh, you guys do turkey for Thanksgiving. Okay. Is there do you guys do it like the stuffing and everything, or do you do something different? It's kind of interesting. I haven't really had turkey for Thanksgiving in a couple years. Usually it's prime rib or something like that. Or my dad used to always bring home a huge ham with pineapple and stuff, which I love. I'm thinking I want one cover with her on her motorcycle. So what is it? What's a hose head? Oh man, stuffing and mashed potatoes. I don't know if I should be getting hungry, but it just sounds cozy, you know? It's always tricky doing the thumbnail process because you're not sure if what you're doing is reading or if it even looks interesting. But I guess that all the drawings that I start always look like this anyway, so yeah. Second City TV old Canadian reference. Going to be 14 of us at a dinner tomorrow. Mackenzie Bros. Yeah, I don't know. Did you stuff the turkey? No, it wasn't. Interesting. You know, one of these days I want to come up with like an interesting recipe for turkey stuffing. But then maybe I shouldn't reinvent the wheel unless I'm planning on eating it. I might even spend Thanksgiving by myself this year. Who knows? We'll see. Family's too far away, and then the book is just going to be, it's probably going to take up most of my time. So I think that's what's going to happen. And I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't think anybody's really going to miss me sitting around and eating their cooking. I tried cooking Thanksgiving a few times, and I don't know if I have the patience for turkey. My dad always does that, so Okay, I think I'm pretty warmed up now. I could probably actually start doing some real layouts. I'm gonna try this pencil, see if it's more. Nope. Okay. I am gonna try another pencil. Different pencils give me like a different shapes, I guess, and it handles differently. I don't have my glove on again. Oh, Michael, I hope they do. But you know what? If I don't have Thanksgiving, I could probably have Thanksgiving with you guys. After you eat your dinner with your own family, of course, and I'm not like on the stream by myself. Okay, let's try a cover with her on the motorcycle instead. I don't know if this pencil's gonna work. Maybe I'll have her standing next to the motorcycle for this one. Hey Trevor, what is up? Thank you for joining us on a rainy Saturday afternoon. I don't have the specs for her motorcycle right now, or bike, so I'm just gonna draw it in there. I can barely remember. It's like, I think it was like this. I think it was like that. Just gonna put this in here. I was gonna ask you guys, do you have any comic book shops near where you live or within like driving distance? Right, yes, I do use the what do you call it? Blackwing. It all depends. I like it on toothy paper, but I don't want it to be too toothy if I'm indecisive with what I'm drawing, because then it just makes a huge mess, which I've been doing lately. So my paper is kind of semi-smooth and it's like a semi-smooth. Hey, what's up, Vince? You are here early, I think. Dang it, we were gonna make a bet that you were gonna show up late. Wow, Frankie, so the closest shop is 3 hours away? Dang. So there's comic shops here. It's basically comic books and games. I haven't been inside of them, but I looked at pictures, and I'm thinking about stopping by a couple of the bookstores and asking them if they would carry my book when the time comes. It'd be kind of nice to have a local shop to go to and to carry the books, you know. I haven't seen my books in a comic book shop in 2 years, since I was in Amsterdam at Hank's. So, I mean, it's seeing it in person, sorry, I should say. I don't know if I want her to hold on to that. That makes no sense. I'm probably going to make her pose a little bit more interesting later on, like, you know, more posing than actually utilizing the motorcycle. Like, she's not riding it, she's just going to pose, and I just want something interesting. Because I've drawn her on the motorcycle before, and it's a typical pose, you know, and I want something just fun to look at, like one of those calendars you would see. I forgot, I think the back wheel is bigger. I don't remember. Yeah, right, JD, it never fails a cool factor unless of course it looks funny. Then it's no good. I had like collected a whole folder full of references for motorcycles and bikes, and just kind of designing it where I don't get in trouble for trademarks for these bikes, but also because it's slightly in the future and people mod all their old equipment and vehicles, I guess, and modes of transportation outside of the flying cars, I guess. But I mean, you know what? Might be kind of cool. Like, what if there was modded old cars that somebody just, you know, took an engine and made it fly? So there's a bunch of junky old flying cars as well. I think that'd be kind of cool. That way, not everything is brand new. So what type is she riding? A made-up type. I took references from a few different bikes. Like, you know, I was looking at Ducati, but that's so distinctive that I had to like modify a lot of it. And what was I thinking? And then I looked at electric motorcycles, but then, I mean, they look cool because they're sleek, except, you know, but then when you think electrical motorcycle, you think probably not that powerful, no horsepower. So, yeah, so I made something up. I don't know if I have pictures of it. I did. Let me go grab my stack of Neo Wonderland things. You see this huge stack right here? So I'm thinking like most of the stuff is gonna be in the like in the sketchbook. So yeah, see, I've even started to draw this a while ago. Just where is it? I'll just show you guys some of the sketches now since I'm digging through it. So these will all be in the sketchbook, Kickstarter sketchbook. So this was the old logo, or the old Fearless. That's the name of the book before I changed it. And here's actually, I printed out some notes for technocratic environments and world and examples. And so this is kind of the stuff that I do when I'm researching for the genre in the book. So that will maybe be in there, but I mean, kind of hard to say just because okay, so I think these are the super early concepts. Oh my gosh, so many sketches. So this is the really old concepts, and I think the main thing for me was to be able to get the body shape to be unique, and then so I was trying to find the shape of the motorcycle that I liked. So the shapes, yes. So yeah, this is basically what I was thinking early on. And here is just some more sketches. And yeah, so these will all be in the sketchbook. It turns out that I did a ton of sketches for this book. I just realized that now. So let's see, here's, I might use this for a cover actually, instead of me having to draw a whole new layout, which will take forever. Okay. Here's more of her. I kind of like this right here. She's not looking straight at the camera. What we were taught, like a lot of times, was to draw covers where the character is facing you so they connect. I kind of get that, but then if everybody's doing that on, let's just say you look at a comic book shelf, then everybody's got the same idea. So I mean, of course not everybody does that, but I'm trying to figure that out. And here's Pocky and Aya. Here's Pocky again, and I'm just trying to design quickly the mask and everything. So I like the, you know what, Michael, I do love that bike in Akira, and I know that if I did it, it'd be kind of obvious that I'm paying homage to it. So I might, because it is a red motorcycle, so it will be kind of like that. And since she's smaller, I'm thinking her bike is going to be smaller, and the guys are going to have like, it's going to be bigger, so I have to design it to be a little more sleek. And here's more. Dang, I did a lot of sketches. All right, well, I guess we're going to have a full-on sketchbook, you guys. Because in my head, I was like, oh, it's just going to be like 20 pages or something. Oh, and here's Pocky and Aya again. He's giving her the, you know, the I love you, please feed me look. Okay, so I'll save the rest for the Kickstarter. Yeah, there's plenty. Anyhow, I guess I'll leave the motorcycle right here. So yeah, I'm gonna do a motorcycle on this one. So she's just sitting on here, and then you got Pocky. You got Pocky right here. Okay, much better. So I'm gonna put Pocky maybe to the back, the side, the cat. So here I'll put the ears out, and then I'll have the I hope you guys can figure out what I'm drawing, because it's like chicken scratches right now. I still didn't find the picture of her bike, so. Oh yes, so Michael, so in the comic book that I did for Pocky, he is in the side pouch, and he's wearing like his military helmet. So, and then we'll have like the city in the background, of course. Okay, I'll just use this to shade. Since she's wearing mostly black, I have to, the foreground I think is gonna be darker than the background, and of course you gotta do it at night. So. Oops. All right, I think I kind of know what's going on here, so. This isn't that different than the one drawing I did a long time ago, but it was on my iPad, so there's no physical copy of it. I could use it as just like, well, it should be in the sketchbook. I think I want all my covers to be done on paper, so. I gathered so many references for Tokyo. In fact, you know what, let me see if I can dig up the book that I got, and I think you guys might have seen this book before. So this book, if you want to get the best references for like cyberpunk kind of vibes, I'm sure a lot of you have seen this book, right? So let me see. I haven't read Messages in a while. So Bikes from World War. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. I love an old modified scrambler. That would be cool too. Put a sidecar. Yes, we should do that. Pretty clear. Have you thought of more stuff to go with the Kickstarter? So Richard, yes, I have. I have thought of more stuff, and honestly, I'm going to try to keep it simple so that I could fulfill it. You know, streamline it, and then things that I know for sure you guys would want, and nothing like that you guys wouldn't want, because I think I already asked you what you thought was going to be kind of interesting. So check out these colors, so amazing. So this is inspiring me, like, from my color palette and stuff, this book right here. So here we go. Let's check that out. For traditional art, what is usual size page for comics? So Toon X, it's 11 by 17 inches, and usually it's bristle board. But if you want to go custom, then people, you know, use all sorts of paper. Isn't this beautiful, you guys? This book is amazing. I left it at the cabin for like 6 months, so I was kind of going crazy and just looking for pictures online. But it's better to see these references in a book, because then you could see all the texture in the buildings a lot better. And I don't know, there's something about printed material, obviously. But yeah, this book is amazing. So it's by Liam Wong. It's called, I guess you could say, Tokyoo. So, and I loved it so much that it's like kind of tearing up, ripping a little bit. So yeah, so I'm using this mostly for my background references for color and just density. You know, like the city's density is really important for this comic book, so I'm using the density and how they're doing that, but not exactly. I think I have one more book to show you guys, just something inspiring. So this book right here is epic. So Anime Architecture. I'm sure some of you have seen this book too. So this book is the best. You know it's the best. It's got Akira, it's got Ghost in the Shell, and the one I wanted to tell you guys about was the Tekkonkin Creek. I can't pronounce it. I'm gonna call it Tekkon. But this is inspiring because a lot of the backgrounds where you see that, like, it's done by hand and it's painted with like it's called a poster paint, and so the craftsmanship is just out of this world. So look at that. This is all hand painted stuff. Isn't that beautiful? Hand painted and hand painted. This is hand painted from Ghost in the Shell, and it's so amazing. And hand drawn. So I was so inspired and I was drooling. I was so in love with poster paint that I went and got my own set. I haven't really used it yet. I used it for one piece and it was so much fun. But let's see. There's one I wanted to show you guys, or a couple. So look at that. It's so amazing. This is digital though, but you should see the hand drawing. I think it's up here. Yeah, right here. So that's the hand drawing. And then look at this, you guys. So I'm inspired by this, how dense these cities are, and the drawings. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to do with my comic book. And look at this map. I'm thinking I want to do a map too. Look at that art. Oh my gosh. I could look at this for days and days and days. The density again, and like the clean, basically line work. Let me see if I could make it so you guys see it better. Oh, I see what happened there. Okay, much better. So yeah, I think JD, I think we mentioned we're gonna do a map, right? Like the Red Dead Redemption map. I think it'd be really cool. And take a look at this. So this is what's going to inspire the way that I approach the comic book for the most part. while still, you know, maintaining my own style, of course, because this could get a little overwhelming once you start to try to pretend like your comic book is an animation. That's going to be super time consuming, but there's a lot you could take away from this, though. Let's see, right there. And he even has reference photos of the wiring and everything, the photos they use for the animation. So you kind of see where they get the references from when they went to these locations and took photos of all the wires, which would be really cool, you know? So there's an art in that. Okay, I could do this all day long, but we're not gonna do that. Ouch. So I still have to take the books out of the box and then start using those references, you know? So yes, this is gonna be the cover. Okay, so I think that's well and clear, sort of. I'm trying to figure out where I want her to park the bike because I don't know if it makes any sense for her to be on the road and posing. So I might look at that reference book that I saw, I just showed you guys earlier, and try to find a street corner or something that might look interesting. A magic sword. She does have kunais, so these little blades. That's why I went fantasy sword and sorcery. Nice. I have it. I use it as reference. See your work also. Awesome. Yeah, it's a great book, isn't it? Oh, it's awesome, Philip, that you're working as well. That's kind of what I was hoping for, that I wasn't the only one drawing, because I get kind of like lonely working by myself too. So I always have to constantly have some kind of thing in the background. So, okay. I think I'm going to write notes on the side. Sometimes I have to do that. So maybe street corner instead of intersection. That's awesome. I guess that's kind of how I started this as well. This book was I basically did the short comic strip of Pocky, and that was kind of how I kind of got my feet wet. So, you know, the comic strip right there. And then I started to add to it, and now we have a full-blown comic book series. Even though I've like started and stopped this book for a few times now, for a few years, and I just decided now was the time, and I feel like I could draw this kind of stuff all day long. So that was kind of important for me too, if I was going to devote, you know, my time to something that I'm going to be doing for a long time. So I have quite a few volumes planned out for this book. So I think a few people asked me if I would ever do like a crossover with Lola XOXO, my other book, but that was post-apocalyptic, and I'm like, is that possible? Can I make this a crossover, or would that just be kind of like forcing the what is it called, the universe together? Because I don't have the luxury of Doctor Strange in my book. So I don't know if I want that. It'd be kind of like a Kira, I guess. So this is where I go blank for a few seconds instead of just moving my hands to try to figure out what I want for a cover. Yes, Cleaver, it's the old newsletter stuff. Speaking of, I gotta email everybody next week to let everybody know that the book is coming out, since I haven't said anything yet. So, in fact, there is a special tier in the Kickstarter that's gonna be, it's called the Pocky Superfan, and I'm gonna have the printed version of those comic strips in that tier. So it's gonna be a Pocky T-shirt, I think, keychain, stickers. Maybe a cover, maybe a Pocky cover, I'm not sure. Alita, yes. So, did I miss something? Alita, yeah, that kind of would be more like Alita. See the book, the artworks of Matsu's Herb and fantastic watercolor buildings. No, I haven't. I'm gonna have to go to Amazon to see if they have it there. I mean, I wish I had more time or finances, I guess, because time is of the essence with this book. I would probably try to do the interior, like more watercolor and ink, but that would take a long time at this point. So, plus it's Cyberpunk, so I kind of want to make it a little bit more kind of like a merge between digital and traditional. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of pose I want her to have. Maybe she's get closer. So I'm crossing my fingers that the pre-launch link for Kickstarter will be available sometime next week, and that's one huge stressor out of my schedule. And then I could just, go in and clean everything up and add more content and just keep drawing, I guess. Crossover with Lobo, I would love it if they'd want to cross over with me. So I have the black and white edition planned, and I think Robert or Richard asked about that. So black and white edition, sketchbook. We're gonna have the thank you page, and then few covers. We have metal covers, and I think somebody mentioned metal bookmarks, or a few people did, and magnets. So I'm going to look into those. I haven't found a printer for the metal bookmarks, but I have friends that will probably give me info on that. And then what else was there that was special? Oh yeah, and original art. Oh, and we have sketch covers. That's right, sketch covers. So I'm going to do sketch cover commissions for the book. So Sumia says you're working with traditional mediums now for the thumbnails, but how much, if any, of your work transitions to digital? I would say for this book, it's probably 50. If I'm coloring digitally and doing screen tones, and then the lettering would be digitally, so I'd say 40% of it maybe for this book is going to be digital. I don't have any printed out at all right now. But yeah, I could probably show you guys next week on my Cintiq. So a lot of times they'll be like, let's say right here, since this is inked traditionally, I just scan it in and, you know, I just color it in Clip Studio Paint. So I guess it's 40%, 45%. So one will be like that. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. A giant Pocky head, and then Aya would be reflected in his eyes. That'd be kind of cute. But you know, realistically, guess what he would actually be doing? Because he's obsessed with those chicken nuggets. He'd probably rather have those in his eyes than her. So that's probably more realistic. I finally basically finished coloring that page that I started coloring 3 streams ago, I think it was, where he's trying to eat the chicken nuggets, and then he like pulls them off and they start leaving the apartment. So I don't know what to do with her hand. Okay, I'm gonna come back to that. Let's go to the next one. Clear, that's funny. You guys, that's a funny cover. Should we do that for the Pocky Superfan cover where it's just his head and he's got the nuggets in his eyes? I love that idea, you guys. In fact, here's one of the pages where he's like sitting around eating it, and it's not nuggets, it's like popcorn chicken basically. So, and he's getting kind of chubby. You see, he's like his belly. Yeah, that's a great idea, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna try to do that one for the cover. So I'm gonna write down Pocky with Happy's reflection. I mean, we could probably do that right here, actually. So the logo's here, and then we got Pocky right here. Okay, I'm gonna have to make his face super close so you could actually see the nuggets in his eyes. You guys don't give me more work. You actually make my work easier because you just give me all these ideas. And then it's like, oh, I don't have to do any extra thinking. So thank you. I mean, I was gonna come up with an idea, and I you know, I wanted something cute, but I wasn't sure what, so that works. I'm smiling. I can't help myself. I'm like, oh, look at him. He's so cute. He's cross-eyed. Real life Pocky is cross-eyed, so. We have to make his eyes just like the happiest a cat could be, right? Like, oh, I'm like really getting into this. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm gonna make Pocky faces, you know, because I make faces when I draw. I'm sure everybody does, but I think he needs So I'm gonna have to figure out how to draw her. Maybe we could even, let's just say, put the nuggets right here, the pile of nuggets. And so she's holding the nuggets in front of him, and then you could see her in his eyes. So. And he's got that military helmet with the angler fish on there with the teeth. Well, at least we got a Pocky cover ready to go. His little helmet. He's awfully cute, though. I mean, Pocky is actually supposed to be kind of a mischievous cat. He's not this cute, but maybe when he sees the nuggets, he's just really, really cute. Oh, my little buddy. Oh, I feel like I need to pet something now. I should go get a cat. Here we go. Thank you, guys. Look, we got one cover knocked out. Nice. Okay, one down. Hello, Super Toyota. Right. I know. I'm so much more excited than the rest of them. I'm like, well, I get to draw a cat. Well. Back to drawing regular things. Actually, you know what? No, I just erase and draw on this right here, I guess. So what I was gonna do today was actually do a double, what do you call it? A connecting cover. But then that would require a lot of extra thinking. I had like this this idea planned out where she was on a motorcycle, Pocky's on this one, you know. So she's on this one, and then Pocky, and then the two guys on their hoverboards would be on this one. And then we're gonna have like a sakura tree coming over the road, maybe like an elevated road, so it's like a super huge sakura tree with all the sakura petals flying over here. So I'm thinking I'll do that for, if I don't end up with too many covers, I'll do the connecting cover like that. Or I could just make her cover, not connecting, but with her on the bike, I guess. So I guess the one cover we're gonna erase right now, guys, is this one. Maybe this is the one where she's riding the bike and there's a sakura tree. And Pocky right here. think we need to see the whole inside. Connecting cover? Yeah, maybe I will. That was the idea I initially had, was to do a connecting cover because I love those, and you could do more background and stuff if you had a connecting cover. And plus I wouldn't have to cram the characters in on one sheet of paper, so. This is usually the process or the time where I'm like the most, what do you call it? Try to stay really focused and stuff, because thumbnailing is the most important aspect of getting your ideas across. So I'm technically just like really concentrated, and I try not to do a bunch of different things. So what am I trying to say here? Oh yeah, like this is hard for me basically, to come up with ideas and try to talk, I guess. Yeah, I know. Thumbnailing does take your whole brain. Even listening to music, I know my friends say that, like they don't listen to music when they're thumbnailing, or maybe just music but no singing, because it's so involved. And I think the most exhausting thing I do is like when I'm laying out like a comic book and doing thumbnails for comic books, I realize like after 5 pages I get really kind of exhausted that day. So I try to like do in batches and then turn in 5 pages at a time if I'm working on a comic book for like a client or something. Okay, so this is so sloppy. Okay. I think I'm gonna remember what I'm drawing here. So sometimes my lines are so chaotic that when I go back later and I try to interpret what I sketched, I'm like, what is that? It looks cool, but I don't know what it is. So I'm trying not to be too messy right now. I know I left thumbnailing, but it's funny because if I spend a lot of time doing one task for too long, I get bored with it and I'm like wanting to move on to the next thing. Like if it's thumbnailing, I'm like, ooh, this is so fun. My lines are so fluid. And then after 5, I'm like, I'm done. And then I'm like looking forward to penciling. And then after penciling a few pages, I'm like, dang it, I kind of want to ink now. So I try to keep myself in check. Or after a while, it's like, man, I wish I could color. So I guess that's what's kind of fun about doing my own book is I could move around and skip around a little bit without being confused about what I'm drawing or doing, or the story, I should say, the plot. Okay. Hopefully I remember what it is I'm trying to illustrate here. And I think this one's going to be pretty simple, so I don't need to lock this one in. I don't know if I'm even going to use this one, so that's why I didn't finish it yet, because I don't know what to do with her hand. I want something cool, so yeah, we'll just leave it. So let's go on to the double page spread, or try to. That looks great already. Oh, thank you. I mean, Pocky looks good. Okay. So, the key with doing like a connecting cover is I don't want to be so afraid of overlapping, let's just say this cover and this cover, that this is like a wasted space. Because if you put the covers together and they don't look right, because there's like this empty space right here, then it won't look as cool. So I have to be willing to and brave enough, honestly, to overlap maybe the front tire or the back tire of her motorcycle. And maybe as long as Pocky's like right here and he doesn't get, you know, stuck. And then Saint will go right here on his hoverboard, and then Shin right here. So this is what if I want this angle? Pretty soon here, this stuff is not going to make any sense. Thank you for joining me while I draw chicken scratches, you guys. Hello from Dublin, Shane. What's up? Hey, magical posters. Yes, I do. Oh, so you signed up for the newsletter and you didn't get any emails? So it didn't send you an email saying, "Oh, can you please verify your account?" I will look into that. But sometimes it goes in a spam, but maybe it's not that. It's from A Weber, but I'll check into that. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. So the front tire for her bike will probably go right here. Hey, what's up, Random Sketching? Thank you for saying hi. You guys must be mesmerized by my chicken scratches. That's why. Oh, wow, ramen. That's awesome. I had no idea that my that any of my drawing videos would actually help you learn how to draw. So that's awesome to hear. Thank you for letting me know that. Like, I'm thinking that I'm just kind of documenting what I do, and so I don't think I'm actually technically teaching much of anything. And as you could see, I'm not. It's not super structured when I'm sketching. I guess it's because I know you guys are here, and I want to make sure we get somewhere, and we can interpret what I'm drawing. But otherwise, like, I'm one of those artists who thinks just because you move your hand faster, it makes you think that you're actually going faster, but really you're not. Let's just slow down. So, so this is what I was saying about the tire being back here. Okay, good night, Michael. Thank you for hanging out with us again. You have a good evening. Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Docs. This is what my brain feels like. It's how it's in, processing everything. It's just scratchy and quick. So. Oh, Shane, I did see the first Tron, and the soundtrack that Daft Punk did was amazing. So I'm assuming the new one has an amazing soundtrack, if they did any of the music for that one. I heard the Tron logo was really cool, so, as always. Oh man, ramen. Do I ever wear out my eraser and they smudge? Yeah, like a lot. I'm trying to be better at not doing that, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, it gets pretty messy. I think it's just because I'm in such a hurry to get everything done that my brain is just like going 1,000 miles an hour. And so it also reflects on how much erasing I do, and my lines are just kind of like this. So if I started erasing right now, but see, this is printing paper, so it's not a half as bad as when you erase on like a, what do you call it? Like a textured, more grain on the paper. Then it just leaves a mess. So magical posters, I did try kneaded erasers. I don't like them as much as maybe I used to when I first started out because of the kind of paper I use. So I actually prefer the what do you call these? It's like poly. Well, it's like a plastic kind of. So it says foam eraser. I like the Japanese one. So hello, Luciano. The 9-inch nail score from Tron is awesome. Is it the new one or the new score? Or you mean the old one? Because I'm trying to remember. Oh, magical posters. I actually do have mono erasers, or I did. I might have used them all. Those are my favorite, though. I actually have a little bin of nothing but just erasers, and I started to run out, so I got like a couple left. I should probably start buying more. It's funny, I'm obsessed with the erasers. When I go to Europe and stuff, I'll pick out erasers that they look cool. So I'm obsessed with all sorts of art supplies, as you guys know very well. Maybe, man, I forgot. So maybe she won't wear her helmet on the cover if she's on a motorcycle, which I know is kind of crazy, but it would look more interesting. Maybe she's not going that fast, so she doesn't have to worry about her head. Yeah, ramen, that would be cool if I had gotten myself an electric pencil electric eraser, because I've seen my friends using that, and it's kind of cool to make like really neat lines. But since I'm speeding through this whole process, I'm not even like really refining my pencils. So yeah, I haven't been able to use that. I have what's this right here? You guys know what I'm talking about, like these, the monos. But even this, I don't even need to erase fine details because I'm working so fast and I just ink over my kind of rough pencils. But those things would be nice. So Shane, what was the last concert I went to? I went to a Pixies concert with Modest Mouse. They Pixies, I'm trying to remember. I think it was Pixies first and then Modest Mouse. I'm trying to remember who played first. No, I think it was Modest Mouse and then Pixies. But yeah, that was the last concert I went to, and that was over a year ago, probably closer to almost 2 years now. So, and the venue was amazing. It was outside in the woods, and you could see the river in the back. So. Modest Mouse is amazing. I've seen, because John's a huge Modest Mouse fan since the beginning, from the 90s. I've seen, I think, like 4 Modest Mouse concerts now. Oh man, I would imagine Nine Inch Nails and Oasis would sound just epic. I want to see Metallica. I think that would be cool. A bucket list band I'd love to see live. Metallica and Linkin Park back in the from 10 years ago. That would have been amazing. Kraftwerk's Gorillas. Oh, the Prodigy and Berlin. Shane, Gorillas would be amazing. Get to see the animation, and then you get to listen to this really cool, chill music. He's got such an amazing voice. I think I'd want to see Evanescence if I saw anything. And then there's Beach House, which is one of my favorite indie bands. I think that would be amazing. So I'm jumping all over the place with my music. Oh, JD, did you really see Linkin Park? Oh my gosh, I would imagine. So was it loud because they were singing his music, or because they were just so excited to see him they just wouldn't stop screaming? Ramen, yeah, I agree. I've Deadly Sinner. I don't think I have magic posters. Oh, cool. Yeah, Jamie, I think it's Hewitt. Jamie Hewitt's work is amazing. And I guess it makes sense because Ashley Wood has what's Ashley Wood's company called again? Is a toy company? I thought he had one. JD, that's funny. You know why it's funny? It's because how could you out scream Chester? And the fact that his crowd is louder than him, that's hilarious. But I would lose my hearing. I'd probably have to bring earbuds or earplugs, just so I could hear him or anything that for that matter. I think I was watching like a video of Tame Impala, and he was singing like "Let It Happen," and I think what was kind of annoying to me was the crowd was singing the song so loud, and the person who was like filming it, I guess, was in the crowd, so you couldn't even hear the song. You could only hear the beat, kind of. And I'm like, I know you guys love him, but I can't hear anything. So I like was looking for live videos of him performing it. So I managed to find a couple, I guess. So we're gonna draw the flying kitty cat, Garrus. UFC tragedy, 80s sci-fi series. V never made a toy figure collection like Star Wars X. You know what, Shane? John told me about that show, V, actually. And he loves that show. I need to go watch that show. If I could find it again. Because they had it on Amazon, I thought, or on Netflix or something for a bit. And he was watching it. I was kind of surprised because he's not really one to watch those shows. But V, I heard, was really good. Ramen, the last time we went to a concert, you came home deaf. Okay, so at the Pixies concert, we had like, I think it was it VIP or is that a different? I think we went there twice. Wow. So we stood right next to the speakers because we were like right in front. We're like, oh yeah, we get to see them up close. We get to see them pick the guitar. But then the speakers are like right there, and so every time he screamed, I couldn't, you know how you try to block your ear and you don't want to put your hand up to your ear because you're the one standing there. So I tried to like close my ears off and act like it wasn't affecting me. But I'm like, we should probably move a little bit to the left or to the right because you're standing right in front of the speakers. And it's probably why we got that, you know, spot in the first place, because no one wanted to be like right there. So. Magical posters. I don't know if I know any current Marvel and DC editors right now. Like a lot of the ones that I worked with, they've already retired and they're off doing something else now. So I don't even know who the editor is right now for both places. Wow, Woodstock in '69, that must have been so different, right? Compared to like concerts nowadays where everybody's kind of familiar with the whole thing, where back then they just kind of started that movement. We're gonna sharpen with X-Acto knife, you guys. Vince, you said that my cat appeared in like 30 seconds flat. You know what's funny about that is I wish everything I drew was gonna appear that fast. Then I could just go to inking. Polyphia? No, Tune X, I have not heard any of these songs from them. I guess I could go to Spotify and check it out. Oh, okay, so Shane, I should check out Modern V made 10 years ago about it went bust and never concluded. I've recommended V the final Battle from 1987. Yeah, I heard the original show was actually way, way cool. I don't know. I didn't see the new one. If they did have one, I think maybe John started watching it. So, wowie, wowie. Well, it's funny. Wowie. It's 5 a.m. in the Philippines. I guess it's really early, which is cool. But then hopefully it's not like you didn't go to bed yet, I guess. Okay, so magical posters. I think like the best way to get them to notice, and it's also a good barometer, is as Vince in the chat, Vince Hernandez, he's an editor. He's been doing it for how long have you been editing, Vince? What, 20, 25 years, right? No, are you 30 years in already, dude? But Vince will tell you, like, if you want like an editor to see your work, you just start posting your work online, and a lot of times they'll see it. I mean, once it gets to a certain critical mass, they're going to be able to see your work. Because, I mean, Vince saw my work on, let's just say, MySpace even before, A, I was all that good, and B, before anybody really started doing that. 26 years strong. Yes, so what is it? Magical posters. Yes, Vince would basically be able to tell you, just get your work out there by putting it on your Instagram and like YouTube or your whatever social media you prefer using. Just start, drawing and showing people your work, and then like your process and stuff, because then people know that you're actually drawing this material. And then if you want to do like interior work, then obviously you'd have to show like sequential pages, even though you don't get a ton of traction right away if you're doing sequentials. But I think eventually people appreciate the fact that you're telling a story. At least editors will. And then you could do some splash pinup stuff so that you gather like a good following. So a little bit of both, The song called ABC by... Okay, awesome. I will check that out, Tune. Thank you so much. Depeche... One band I've never seen live is Depeche Mode. My last music chats. Shane. Okay, yeah, you know what? I have one song of Depeche Mode on my my playlist. I'm trying to remember what the song is called. It's how's it go? I'm taking a ride with my best friends, and I think he says don't know if I'll ever come back again or something like that, or ever do this again. I can't remember, but that song's pretty awesome. So Guy Dorian, this is actually a connecting cover. So it's actually it's two covers. So cover first, this is cover A and cover B, or I should say cover C and cover D. So wanted to ask, ma'am, when newbie artists make sequential for a portfolio, are we allowed to use established characters from big names? Wowie, yes, you are, and you probably should. Like Vince kind of told you, so Vince is an editor and he's seen thousands of portfolios at this point. He'll tell you that, yeah, you should probably draw characters that people recognize, so they know what the how to measure it, I guess, or what's the word I'm looking for? How to judge it, I guess, because there's a point of reference. That's what I was going to say. So Guy, this is actually just a thumbnail. It's on 8.5 by 11 paper, but when I'm done, it's going to be on like 11 by 17 on each side. So this right here is 11 by 17, and this is going to be 11 by 17. And then they're going to be combined, and it's going to be a huge 22 by 17 connecting, which I connect with tape basically in the middle. I'm not. What? Where was I at? Sorry. I know I'm not Sia, but that generally goes against the rules of professional portfolios. However you can 100% post fan art to Insta or other socials and link it. Did I miss something that you said? Creative folio, following creative portfolio. Do you mean like drawing licensed characters goes against portfolios? I don't think it does unless you're trying to make money off of it. And so usually when you're trying to draw for like DC and stuff, they do want to see that you could draw their characters if they're going to look at your portfolio and their sequential pages that you're doing. Because I know that everybody that I know has used licensed characters, and unless of course you have a body of work already that they see that you've done. Like let's just say I worked at Aspen Comics, and when I got hired by Marvel and DC, they already saw some of my drawings from there, and they kind of had an idea of how their characters will look. But if you've not drawn it and you're kind of like specifically interested in doing a DC or Marvel or Image Book or whatever, then like Transformers for example, then I think they'd want to see if you could actually draw it. But to make money off of it, that's where you run into problems. So what am I doing here? But Vince, you could go ahead and I think answer a few more of the portfolio questions for people, because I know it's a big deal, especially right now with how hard it is to get to conventions or even have editors looking at their work and stuff online. So, or even at a convention, yeah. But I guess if you're like, let's just say your portfolio is for video game concepts, then yeah, you could make up, obviously it would be good to make up your own character concepts based off of like a spec, whether it's like creature design or character design, then yeah, you should probably make up your own characters. But then also curate it towards whatever companies you want to have look at your portfolio. Like if you wanted, what is the company I'm thinking? Square Enix, it would be different designs. And then if you wanted like Bungie or what am I thinking here? Bethesda, then it'd be different types of concept art. So it really does depend. But generally speaking, you don't draw licensed characters in those aspects. But for comic books, and depending on the company you're trying to work for, it's just easier, I guess. Oh yeah, ramen for sure. Art school, they don't even want to see that kind of stuff. A lot of times art school, it depends on the kind of art school too. Like if you're talking about fine art, then yeah, it'd be still lifes, and they'd rather see still lifes and figure studies and live drawing. But if you're talking about like an Otis art school or something like that, then yeah, it's just sequential and your own stuff. So that's a different story. So there's a different situation for different types of jobs that we're getting. Even in art, there's different things you would include in it, like character designers and then storyboard artists also. Oh, have a good night, Cleaver. Thank you for hanging out with us again. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Oh yeah, Tune X. Yeah, Proco's got so many awesome lessons and teachers. Like Ryan Benjamin has an awesome course, and I don't know, does he have David Finch? He probably has David Finch as well. Good night, magical posters. Bonafide art streamer until the audio goes out and stuff and the camera shuts off. Thank you so much. Yes, Richard, drawing from life is still the best. In fact, I should probably sign up for that that live drawing class before it's already over, which I think it ends this week, so I need to jump on that. But okay, I'm only gonna do that class though if I live drawing class if I have this done, and then otherwise I'm just gonna have anxiety the whole time and not be able to draw. So okay, so we're gonna put the two dudes over here. Technical difficulties are a badge of honor, Toe. Yeah, if I fix it, otherwise it's like, man, you suck. You don't know what you're doing. So far, my problems haven't been like gigantic, but if I was living in the cabin still, yeah, there's no way you guys would be able to watch this without like some serious like degraded audio and video quality. So. Oh my god, Vince, that's hilarious. So I'm drawing the hoverboard, or getting ready to. Okay. He's not gonna. Oh, maybe I'll put him back here. Richard, yes, I'm going to hand ink this page and add screen tones in Clip Studio Paint. So same process. Is it K4 Zan? How long does it take me to finish a page? Generally speaking, I try to keep pages within like 4 hours. With inking, maybe 5 hours. Oh yeah, ramen screen tones are expensive. I had bought one pack a few years ago, and as soon as I finished that pack, I just stopped buying them. So I'm just doing it in Clip Studio now. But for covers and stuff, it's kind of nice to have actual screen tones on the page. But Brett from Eon Productions, who does my paper and this paper right here, we were trying to figure out how to do screen tones on the page without using screen tone like the sheets, but like maybe a texture or something that we could find that we could get on, you know, put on the page, but we haven't been able to figure that out. So no, but trust me, it's not all pages. Like sometimes, let's just see. The page one for this comic book, where it's mostly the background, I think that took me longer, and then obviously double page spreads will take like 8 hours. So it all really depends on what's on the page. If it's like a talking head page, super easy, maybe 3 hours. But ones with a lot of background and action panels, I mean, that might take a little longer. So It all varies, but I try to keep it less than 8 hours, or else I'm, you know, gonna have a problem with the time and everything. So. Oh, thank you so much, Shane. Have a good evening. I think I have about 15 minutes left, and hopefully I could kind of get somewhere with this. I kind of wanted to have like a. Okay. Richard, I was thinking about making a rubber stamp because I went to the store and I'm like, you know what, I could probably make rubber stamp sheets, but I'd want it like big enough where when you roll it, you know, you roll it, it actually you could actually make varying sizes and stuff. So yeah, I think if I really had the time to, I'd probably do it. I might do it soon here just so I could have it for the book. But yeah, I think rubber stamps, or because I had stencils, but the holes are too big, so it didn't look as cool. I wanted like smaller holes, and I was thinking even some kind of like nylon fabric of some sort with like bigger holes, but we'll see. Yeah. I think it take me about 5 hours. 5 hours to complete. Awesome. How to handle business, social media size as a comic book artist. How to, sorry, I'm way behind on your guys' comments, like way behind. Sorry, I lost track. Oh, hey, what's up, Harlan the goat? I'm just like skipping around on the stream. I'm sorry. So does CSP. You mean Clip Studio Paint? Yes. It's my favorite go-to program right now. I use Clip Studio Paint more often than I use Photoshop. I use Photoshop for exporting and like adjusting the colors because I'm so used to it that I just use that still for my pages. But the lettering in Clip Studio Paint's much better. Too much space down here. Job at Marvel. He made some comments for Indian Spider-Man. I don't know how he'd get into Marvel. He didn't sell anything. I think if you're wanting to get a job at Marvel or DC or any comic book company, I guess the key is to just get really good at sequentials, and eventually it's gonna fall into place in a way because you're doing it all the time, and a lot of people start seeing it, and I mean the sequential stuff if you're posting it online, And trust me, those editors can see you if there's anything available. Or in a small project, you always kind of start small first and then kind of go from there. And then people who know people will know people. So, hey, Eric. I know. Why am I not there? I mean, Francis asked me if I was gonna go, and like last year, and I was like, I might, and then I never got around to planning it. And dude, I'm working on this book, so that's why I'm not there. I'm so sad. Are you having fun? What's that? Are you guys all there, or is it just you, Eric? Right? Get it, scrub. Well, say hi to everybody from me, Eric, if you are there with everybody, like Matteo and Sean. I know you're online and you're like, why is he online? Dude, what a loser. Thank you, Eric. Miss you. Hope to chat with you very soon. Oh, awesome. The entire crew is there. Awesome. Well, also tell Matteo congrats on his book that's coming out. It's amazing. I mean, obviously, you guys are awesome. Is it really busy over there, Eric? I would imagine it is, but, you know, it's been a few years for me. Yeah, 2X, that is a key, especially if you don't have access to like getting to a convention and stuff to show your work. It's the easiest thing to do. Plus, you get, you know, feedback and stuff. You have an idea of where you're kind of at with your work, and you're, you know, I've been doing it for a long time, so that's kind of how I'm doing it now. But then when I started drawing comic books, I did start by showing my work at conventions and stuff. So I was around during that time. Before it was mostly online, unless you're at like a convention or something. Oh, business busy. I love business busy. Thanks so much, JD. Yeah, I'm actually starting to like kind of like getting comfortable with this layout, because when I first thought about it, it sounded a little overwhelming, but yeah. Well, Eric, please enjoy New York for me, because I'm jealous. There's all this food, the bright lights in Times Square and stuff. That'd be so nice. Yeah, hip structure is super important, Ramen. I think maybe the core, if you want to teach them that, would be kind of cool. The core, like neck, you know, torso, the hips, maybe just the core structure. Where did I miss? Seeing where the writers are so much better than the writers. Kind of, in a way. I've drawn a few. I think for this book, I think I've done it a few times, maybe 10 times. Thank you, Eric. I cannot wait to see you guys. But I don't want to get motion. I like, you know, what's it called? Motion sickness, I guess, from flying so fast. Send me a fighter jet. That would be kind of cool. Then I'd be back. I'd be there in time for dinner, right? Or it's probably dinner time now, so. Ramen, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna go do some live drawing class lessons, I think, next week if I get this book done. So I'm not doing anything else, you guys, until the pre-launch page is ready, and we're good to go. I'm going to be doing a few podcasts with my colleagues and friends, and I think a few podcasts that you guys may know already. In the starting next week until till the Kickstarter is done. So you're gonna see lots of me and lots of other artists and stuff, and we're gonna talk about comic books and entertainment, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. $5.56, awesome. See, is taking over the internet. Yeah, so you might get tired of me pretty soon, you guys. Just ask Eric. Never. Well, John's probably tired of me kicking him out of his own apartment. Oh, awesome. Well, tired? No way. Well, I feel sad now. I want to go hang out in real life. I have FOMO now, you guys. I hear something creepy. Oh, it's a bird. Okay. I was like, something's trying to enter the apartment. Weird. So, oh, thank you so much, Raymond. I appreciate it. And good luck with your class today when you're teaching. I think the bird outside heard me yapping, and he's like trying to check me out to see what I'm doing. So he flew into he's trying to fly into the apartment. I would have streamed last week when I was at the cabin because I think it'd be kind of cool, but as you guys remember, there is no internet there, or not one that's functional. But we were so busy trying to get everything ready, I was like, didn't draw at all, so I was getting kind of stressed. The bird was a jet. Oh, okay. Is that what Eric meant? He was gonna send an actual like bird to come and get me, and then I have to get in my car and drive to New York. So I don't remember if I told you guys, but that was the first time I met Todd McFarlane in person. He was like rushing to his hotel. He probably had a meeting in Times Square, and I was with Frank from Aspen and a few of the other artists, and he stopped by and he said hi to Frank, and I think everybody, all my artist friends were like kind of starstruck, and we didn't say anything. We just smiled and shook his hand, and that was it. That was me. I was like, hi Todd McFarlane. I quit trying to draw these layouts to where you guys understand what I'm doing. It's just hopefully for me later where I look back and I'm not like, what the heck is going on here? So it's just for me. So I know someone who's not seen my stream, and then they click on it and they see me drawing this, they're probably gonna click right out of this live stream. Like, what in the world? Why is anybody watching this? I don't know if any of you are baseball fans or MLB, but the Mariners finally went their, what do you call it? I want to say playoffs, but I don't know if that's what they call it in baseball. But my family is all super happy right now, and so yay for the Mariners, Seattle Mariners. Mariners. I need to call my dad, actually. I'm sure he's excited. I've been like following a lot of, or trying to draw a lot of my favorite surfers, and the way they pose is so cool that I have to make sure it's kind of how they would be posing on a wave. Dropping into the wave like I'm just gonna noodle with this thing. It's gonna take forever, so I can't keep up with my brain anymore. My hand's going so fast. Blue Jays fan here. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'm thinking I should probably watch a couple games. But that other game took like, was it like 4 hours or something? A few days ago? Or is it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. It took 4 hours. I was like, by the time I went to bed, I think it just ended, so. I'm gonna figure out his pose later, but I just want to make sure that the scale of everything is about where I want it to be. I've drawn him on the hoverboard so many times now for the first 5 pages that kind of locking in how he poses. You know, kind of like Kelly Slater or John Florence, some of the best surfers in the world. I don't want his butt to be like chopped off right here, so yeah, I'm gonna have to figure this one out later. And then the brother is gonna go right here. See, I'm going super fast now. Oh, yep, it is 4 o'clock. So we got kind of far with the layouts. At least I have a rough idea of like my approach, I guess. Chicken scratches and all. And then you guys can kind of see. I probably won't get this cover done before the pre-launch, but I think by the time the Kickstarter launches on the 28th, crossing fingers, that you'll see all the artwork for everything in the covers and stuff like that. I still have to make the video for the Kickstarter, so I have to edit some stuff, maybe do a little bit of animation too. So I'm gonna go ahead and check what you guys are saying while I wrap this up. Let's see if I missed anything. So let's do a quick rundown of everything you guys said in case I forgot. Oh yeah, I'm way behind. The link in the description the Kickstarter is invalid. The one in chat works though. Oh! Huh. NeoWonderland.com. I'm gonna have to find out why that's not working. Oh, Cleaver. Oh my god, if I met Aaron Blaze, I'm thinking I'm gonna be like, you know, too cool for school, but then I'm probably gonna stutter. You know, I've done that so many times. Every time I meet someone, I'm like, I think I'm gonna be cool. like Frank Miller, and then I start stumbling and saying stupid things. And I think John was there when I did that at the Hilton at SDCC, and I didn't know what I was saying. And then Kevin Smith, after I left, came by, and I was just like, forget it. It's too much. It's too much for my brain to process. Hey, what's up, Louis? I got to hang out with Steve Ditko at his studio once. Talk about starstruck. Oh man, yeah. I could go down the list of everybody I got starstruck by. Small wooden pencil, mechanical pencils seem to be more popular option. Do you usually draw with a small wooden pencil? So no, I don't always draw with it, but you see how I like, I wear them down pretty fast. So because of the way I draw, I'm just like, my brain is just pouring, everything in my brain is just pouring out onto the page. So I go through these pencils pretty fast. But normally the white one's my favorite too. I just forgot all about it today. And then, I got these two options, mechanical and this one, but it's such a fine point that I like using these. I know a lot of people use the other side, the dull side to lay it out, but it's so hard that sometimes I want like a softer feeling with my pencils and my lead and how heavy it is. So Detective Buckets, which guy? You got what the rhythm? Was it a bit of a recluse? A lot of us artists are kind of a recluse in a way, except for me. Obviously, I'm sitting here talking to you guys. Ogre Bucks, how do you keep all of your characters so excellently consistent? Do you have model sheets of these characters or sketchbooks that have them in there? Ogre Bucks, yes I do. I have I've sketched them so many times that they're not super duper consistent all the time. I think there's like you could fudge it a little bit here and there, but yeah, I got character sheets, but I also have drawn them over and over again. Some of the ones I don't draw as much, I still have to kind of get reacquainted with. Like, so here's one example, and some background concept art. But yeah, so I draw them enough so where I know what their major shapes are, so it's easier for me. JD, yay Toronto. Oh no, we don't want to play Toronto. Todd is awesome. Back in '94 at one of my first shows with my first work, the con lost my table. Really, they did not know where to put me. Todd was standing next to the sign and told me not to worry. Aw, that's so sweet. It was 15 innings long. Dang. It's a long game. I know. I was like, why? Because I watched baseball live, the smaller, minor leagues and everything. But yeah, it's hard for me to watch it on TV, as you guys know. And it's fun to play it, but some sports it's really hard to watch on TV, like soccer. I could watch a soccer game live. My friend used to go to the Sounders games all the time, and he'd have like tickets, and we'd be like sitting right there in front. So it's exciting to watch it because you're moving your head back and forth because the field is so big. But when it's on screen, the cameras kind of move around for you, so you're doing very little work. And so, oh, I know, yeah, it's a brutal way to end a season. But like I said, I was like, it's a low scoring game, so it could have gone any direction at that point. Yeah, cost of living is expensive right now, anywhere and everywhere, even places that normally wouldn't have high expenses, especially as an artist. It's pretty tough. Yeah, commissions are hard. I've been fortunate. I've been doing commissions for a long time, so I've had a decent amount of commissions. I'm trying to get through actually this coming week, so that I could finish my book up. But yeah. I have kind of a character sheet in my head, but not quite. I still have to look at it a little bit. But sometimes, the thing is, sometimes I kind of want to change how they look, so it's nice to have it in your head somewhat instead of like constantly going back. But I think I'll be more consistent as the book goes along. So thank you so much, Guy Dorian. I really appreciate it. You guys, you get me excited and pumped every week I have to draw, and I know that on Saturday I get to hang out and chat with you and kind of see what everybody's up to. So, I mean, for the longest time, it was just like me pre-recording an episode, and then I'd be chatting with you guys in the window, and then you know, I think it's a lot more fun, and we get a lot through a lot more by talking and interacting, at least on my end. Richard, you know, I used to be able to draw in my head or be able to think about it, but nowadays, if I'm not at my desk drawing, it's really hard for me to like think about my work now. It's crazy. Oh no, are we gonna do this Toon X Messi or Cristiano? Uh, am I allowed to? Well, see, I've never really watched Cristiano play. I've seen Messi play, and he's really something else because he's so fearless. You know, I mean, he's not the tallest soccer player, so Messi, but Ronaldo is obviously amazing, and I'd have to go back and watch his games and look at his record to see if maybe it's just a bias thing, and instead of like an actual, like, you know, I think being a good sportsman also kind of factors into who's greater for me as well too. Yes, JD, I agree. Natural talent, hard work, but then Ronaldo is just like methodical about his hard work, and I feel like Messi's kind of, he appears to be more natural, but I don't know if he truly is. Like, I mean, he's probably just hiding it really well. Like some of these quarterbacks are the same way. Yes, Terry Francis's videos are back, and he's just pumping them out like crazy. It's awesome. We both geek out over camera gear, and so whenever we chat, it's just like, dude, let's just talk about camera gear. But yeah, he's amazing, and he's so helpful with everything, with helping me out, like trying to figure things out with when we're working on Rockefellers. So we're both making a lot of videos now. So. Oh, Raymond, it's probably because probably some kind of hashtag or whatever, someone started it online and it just went viral. That's probably why everybody's asking that question. JD, I'm sure yeah, I know for sure. I'm sure they all work their butts off, but one makes it more apparent, right? Like you see it online, whereas the other one kind of just doesn't post as much. Maybe I haven't really seen Messi's posts online. I just see that whenever he goes somewhere, there's like a crowd of people outside waiting for autographs, and when he first moved over to Miami. So in addition to my question, do you also have model sheets of even the characters that are either in the background or just in short scenes? I have character sheets. Let me see if I have character sheets of all the major characters, and there's quite a few of them. So let's see. Here's like some rough sketches of some of the main characters. I did these in watercolors, and I think I showed it to you guys last time, but I do a lot of the ones that will show up more than one time. Just quick sketches. Sometimes you don't need a whole character sheet, but you need to be able to draw them like a few times. So, and like the basic shapes and stuff like that. Let's see. And obviously the most important thing is the city, and like the major parts of the city I try to keep consistent, because otherwise like you'll never feel like you're in the same place. And since the city is such a huge part of the story, I try to keep it consistent. That's why I was thinking about pre-making certain signs and stuff like that, so that I don't have to redraw these crazy neon signs over and over again. So comics for life, how about 50% of the time I like the sketches more than the finished pieces? And I think part of it is because I get kind of nervous sometimes, and then my lines are kind of stiffen up. So yeah, I think 50% of the time I actually like it better. So let's see if I'm missing anything. Have you ever done a thumbnail? I feel like, okay, so we could talk about talent and skill, and so I'll give you one quick example. The gentleman, John, with the you know, the muscle, whatever, he he always makes fun of his own art while he's drawing next to me on a plane or something, and then we're drawing different types of art. But we started painting recently, and he went from like not sure about how to approach his painting to like being really good at it. I mean, you could barely see it in the background, but he's got like 1, 2, 3 moose paintings. No, 1, 2, 4 moose paintings, 4 moose paintings, and then 1 bison painting, and they look awesome, you know. And he didn't think that he could do it, but he did it. So there's some level of natural inclination to want to do something, and then the rest of it is like kind of picking up and kind of working on those natural, wherever your starting point is. I think that has a lot more to do with eventually how good you are at something, you know. It's because as human beings we're like just muscle, right? So it's all muscle, and even our brain has to work all that stuff out, so it's just practice and stuff like that. So I understand why everybody. I think it's okay if people are like, "Oh, you're so talented," because I get what they mean. But then when someone's like, "Oh, it's lucky for you," you know, lucky for you because you're talented, instead of saying, "Oh, you're talented, but also you work hard," so that's fine too. You know, either way. Yeah, for sure, JD. I agree. Because you have to really want something bad enough. Because, you know, remember when we're going to like high school and stuff? I mean, if some of you were probably still in school, but you always had like the group of kids that was always some of the best artists in the class, and you kind of saw how some people were naturally. I feel like they were able to catch on to certain things a lot quicker, like shapes. You know what I mean? Like we do read shapes differently, and color, shapes, value. Like there's more of like a leg up in that sense a little early. I had to like try a little harder to pick up on those things, and I feel like I still have things that I could work on. But I remembered a lot of my friends who didn't draw as much as me, but they would pick up on certain aspects of drawing a lot quicker than I did. And it's like that with a lot of things, you know. And so I've seen a lot of people who say they can't draw, who all of a sudden they draw something. I'm like, how is it that you say you can't draw? I mean, unless you mean like drawing super realistically, that's one thing. But then everything could be learned and taught to some extent. You know, like I'm not necessarily, I wouldn't call myself athletic, but I know that if I was to just shoot hoops, I could do it, you know, 50% of the time. But but would I be able to play in the NBA? Probably not, you know. We could go into a rabbit hole of that whole thing, I guess. Oh, you're just kidding, JD? I do. I literally hated other artists. I'm like, dude, he's so good. I'm just joking. No, I was always friends with everybody. Anyone can draw. It's just how well they draw. It all depends on what their inherent, what their goal was at the end of the day, what kind of art they want to make, and how they want it to look. So, yeah. Ogre, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Well, you guys, we could keep going on about this whole art thing, and I could be really thoughtful about it too. So, because I don't want to inhibit myself from being able to improve. If my mindset's already kind of made up, then it's hard to like improve as an artist. So, but I should probably get ready for dinner right now. And I actually have to go and finish up the rest of the stuff for the Kickstarter right now. So then we hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have this thing ready by Wednesday. That's what I'm hoping. Wednesday at the latest, because it's getting kind of close, and I need to get this thing moving along, because I don't want to like spring it on you guys all of a sudden like, hey, guess what, the book is out. Sorry, super close to when it's launching. So awesome. So I guess we'll try for next Saturday again, unless of course the book is ready to show you guys, or the Kickstarter page or whatever. Then I'll try to come on sooner than that. So I might do it sooner, fingers crossed. So thank you guys for hanging out with me again. Remember, Halloween, Bob Ross, this girl. I think I gotta buy the costume first, but that's what I'm thinking. So if you want to see me paint happy little trees, join me for Halloween. What am I eating for dinner? I don't know yet. Probably Thai food, so we'll see. All right, you guys. Well, you have a good evening, and I think some of you super early morning. Bye, Vince. Thanks for hanging out, just like chilling there. It's awesome. And John, and I mean all of you guys. Lewis, JD, Ogre, Tunex, Wowie. Thank you so much, you guys. Wish me luck. And we shall talk sometime this week. Awesome. Well, you have a good evening. And I love you guys. So I will see you soon.